Okay, the recording has just begun. So hi, we all just went through and introduced ourselves on the mentoring committee. Again, my name is Shayna Hume. We are the SGAC mentoring program. The SGAC mentoring program was initiated about a year and a half ago, but this spring we ran our first official program, and we had about 50 different mentor-mentee matches. Our goal is to help SGAC members connect with each other all over the world and find ways to help each other forward in their passion for space and in their career. Today, we're hosting the executive and deputy executive directors of SGAC, Clementine and Davide, and they're going to give our program and everyone else who signed up for the 300 slots that got filled about what SGAC is and how to get more involved now that you're a member. So with that, in just a moment, I'm still letting people in from the waiting room. We will get started with Clementine and Davide. Which one of you would like to screen share?
I will, Shayna. So.
Fantastic. Off to you then, Davide. Thank you.
Are you able to see my screen?
Yes.
Fantastic. Clementine, floor to you.
Sure. So welcome everyone to this very first webinar of the mentoring program. And I would like to first give a huge shout out to the mentoring program team for all the amazing work that you're doing and for having us today. It's amazing to see how many people are joining this webinar and from how many different countries. We're super impressed, super happy to host you tonight to tell you a little bit more about SGAC and how you can get involved. Because SGAC is a very large organization. We have many activities, as you will see. So we're looking forward to give you a little bit more introductions on this. So maybe we can first introduce ourselves. So as said, my name is Clementine. I am from France. I'm from Marseille, where I'm actually based right now during this lockdown period. I'm also the executive director for SGAC, which means that I have the privilege to work on SGAC full time and not to volunteer. But yeah, I've been doing this for 3 years now. My background is in marketing and international business. And it's been really amazing to work for the SGAC community. I've met so many different people. It's such an amazing group. So definitely encourage you to join and even more to get involved as an active volunteer. Davide, if you want to go ahead.
Yes, so thank you. My name is Davide. And as you can hear from my accent, I'm Italian. So I'm coming from Italy. At the moment, I live in Italy. I'm locked down in here as well in Italy. I live next to Venice, half an hour from Venice. And I am the Deputy Executive Director of SGAC. I started my experience, so I'm working as well as a full-time for SGAC. And I started my experience with SGAC 1 month ago. So 1st of April, I started my experience. So I will have a long travel in front of me with SGAC, even if I started my experience with SGAC in 2016 as a volunteer. So I did lots of opportunities with SGAC, and really they gave me really lots of opportunities that we're going to show you today, Clementine and myself. So looking forward to start this, and that's it.
Awesome. So I guess we can start maybe by telling you a little bit about the origins of SGAC and why we were created. But first off, this is the very impressive map of where all you guys are coming from right now on this webinar. So as you can see, it's really people from all over the world in all the regions. And this is exactly what you get if you join SGAC. You get to meet a group of people that are really coming from everywhere, meeting different culture, having some friends all around the world. Like I can literally say, like tomorrow, if I need to go to whatever country in the world, I can meet people that I know there because of SGAC. So yeah, that's again an amazing group, and we are very happy to have all of you coming from so many different places. I don't know, the people coming from Australia, what time is it right now? This is to me really impressive. So yeah, awesome, and yeah, continue telling us from where you're coming from. We're really looking forward to know that. So as said, like the SGAC history. So we were really created a little bit more than 20 years ago now. We celebrated our 20th anniversary last year. And the SGAC was created at the United Nations, actually. So it was at Unispace 3, which is the United Nations Conference on Exploration and Peaceful Uses of Outer Space. It was in Vienna in 1999. And basically the point of creating SGAC was that there was no mechanism at the UN at that time that was allowing young people to participate in all these high-level discussions that they had about space. And of course they should, because the next generation are the ones that are going to be taking the lead on all these companies in the space sector tomorrow. So we are really the actors of the space industry tomorrow, and what we're gonna do with space, how we are going to use space, and you know, benefit from all the advantage of space for, you know, our life on Earth and for exploring different planets, etc. So really, they decided to create a group that would allow this participation in, of course, an organized way. So this is how they created SGAC. And at the bottom here, you can see the picture of the founders of SGAC and the people who really contributed to that moment. These were the attendees of the very first event that we organized, which was called the Space Generation Forum. And this is out of this that we provided a recommendation to the United Nations to really create that group and to let us as young people getting involved in these conversations, and it worked. So we created the organization officially then in 1999. And in 2001, we obtained even the permanent observer status at the UN, which means that we can sit at the United Nations there during their committee. They have 3 committees per year. It's called the Committee on the Peaceful Uses of Outer Space. We can talk about it a bit later, but we sit there and we actually represent young people on this committee, which is pretty cool because the number of young people inside the UN, I can tell you, it's not that many. So it's really a chance for us to be there and to be able to represent your voice there at the UN. So that's more for the SGAC creation. I'd like to let Davide present then a little bit the purpose of SGAC.
And yes, so as you can see here is the network. So what about SGAC? I mean, where we are based, where we are located. So you have seen before the map of the people, you know, that are joining this webinar, but on the other hand, you can see this network. So the network of our community. You can see that we are in 6 regions. We are represented in more than 150 countries. And at the moment, we have more than 15,000 members that joined our organization. So this is something amazing. And of course, I guess that you're all here also to understand our network, to understand, you know, where everyone is coming from. And this was regarding the network. What about the pillars? What about the pillars means what SGAC is focused. No? So as you can see, SGAC here is focused mainly on 5 pillars. So you can see SGAC works on events. SGAC also does different project groups. As you can see on the website, we have at the moment 10 project groups that are working on different topics that, you know, can be space medicine, can be small satellite projects, as well as other projects that you can check on our website. But of course, we provide also professional development opportunities. You can join our teams for all the different points of view, from events, project groups, to improve your professional skills also for your future careers. And we also provide to our members the opportunity to join our events through scholarships. So with scholarships, we give the opportunity to join our events that are all over the world through scholarships that are done with SGAC, but also scholarship with partners that we have right now and sponsors that we have right now. We are going to talk about the scholarships as well. And as Clementine said before, we do also United Nations related activities. And so we're going to talk with you about what we do at the UN and also our involvement with the United Nations. So These are the 5 pillars that then we are going to describe you, one of them in details, starting from the events. So the events are classified mainly in 3 categories. So the first one are the international events, the so-called global events. Then we have the regional events, this is the second category. And then we have the last category, that is local events, national events, and also partnered and endorsed events. So starting from the global events, the first global event, so we have usually 3 global events for SGAC, and the first global event that SGAC usually runs every year is the so-called Space Generation Congress. So the Space Generation Congress is the biggest SGAC event that is always in conjunction with the International Astronautical Congress. And also, of course, as you understand, the event is at the same country in which the IAC is located. So for example, this year, the Space Generation Congress was supposed to be in Dubai, even if the IAC has been postponed. But usually we run this Congress every year in conjunction with the IAC, and we have more than 150 delegates that are coming from more than 50 countries. So we have a really huge network, and it's an amazing event, super international, in which our members come from all over the world to join this event. With this event, we have also high-level speakers from different sponsors like ESA, NASA, Lockheed Martin, German Aerospace Center, and so on. And of course, we have also subject matter experts from space agency, academia, and industry that work together with our delegates with the so-called working groups. So the working groups are the focus, the core of the Space Generation Congress. The Space Generation Congress usually is a 3-day event, and during these 3 days, we have our delegates that are working on different working groups sponsored by our sponsors, and they work together during these 3 days on a specific topic that is touching the space international development. Like, for example, what are the ISS activities in 5 years when the ISS is not going to work anymore? Or topics like space medicine, or other topics like space policy. So we have a wide range of opportunities and working groups that we do within this Congress. And in addition, as I told you, as I said before, we provide more than 75 scholarships only for this event. So it's a really great opportunity for you to join this event every year. And in fact, as you can see here, even if this year the IAC is not going to take place in Dubai, we have an amazing excitement news for you that is going to come really soon. So please check our website at the end of this week, because there will be a new announcement for the first SGAC Congress online. So it's just a heads up. So please take a look. At the end of the week, we're going to make an amazing announcement about this event that is coming soon. Clementine, we talk about SGFF, I guess, now.
Yeah, indeed. So the SGFF, or the Fusion Forum, is a very fancy name here. It's the second global event of SGAC. So it's hosted every year in conjunction with the Space Symposium, which is organized by the Space Foundation. And so this is an event that is welcoming around like 75, 80 delegates, which means it's a bit less than the Congress, and it's a little bit more intimate, more like focused on the networking, the experience of meeting each other. You have much more social events associated with the Fusion Forum. And the idea is to really discuss and brainstorm together over the course of 2.5 days. And again, to meet great leaders from the industry, to get a one-on-one conversation with them. Like to be honest, I don't think there is a better opportunity than joining the events, because a lot of our members, like, it's very rare, let's say, the opportunity as young professionals to be able to, like, I don't know, like shake hands with Jim Bridenstine, or like tell the CEO of, I don't know, Virgin Orbit what you think about their company, and how you would like to get involved, and what are your perspectives about the use of space, etc. So this is really a good chance for you to do that. And also to meet with your peers. And honestly, as I said, like, to me, the people that I met at SGAC are gonna literally be like friends for life, because it's like people that are going to be following me and my career in the space industry. The space industry is so small, you always meet the same people at these conferences, and this is very important to solidify this network. So this event is really the ideal occasion to do that. And of course, this year, the event was supposed to be hosted in April. Usually it's hosted in April. But due to the lockdown, we had to postpone the event. So now it's going to be hosted at the end of October. And so you will still be able to like attend potentially if we still have some spots for you to register. But it's really, really a cool event, and I recommend going there. We have a third global event, which is called the SGX. So SGX is held in conjunction with the Satellite Show, which is in Washington, D.C. So again, every year, and it's done in partnership with an organization that's called the Future Space Leaders Foundation. If you don't know about them, I also encourage checking that out. So it's an organization based in the United States that are providing some grants to students and young professionals in the US to attend different conferences. And so the satellite conference, which is this conference focused on like the use of satellites and like Earth observation, etc., every year in Washington, D.C. So it's an event that welcomes around 200 delegates. And this is like something that we don't have in any other event at SGAC. So it's basically based on TED Talks. So we welcome around 20 speakers. They are different every year, and they are high-level speakers, always very interesting speakers who have basically something to say and basically a story to share and something they want to, an experience they want to share with like the participants. And so they have 10 minutes to pitch their story. And of course they cannot talk about their company. So it's not to do business pitch or like to talk about their company. It's to share something that is personal to them. So it's really cool. Again, it's an event where you can really learn from experienced professionals and like how they build their career in space, for instance, or their tips to build a company and become a successful entrepreneur, that kind of topics. So that's basically the third global event. But as Davide said, we also have other type of event, regional and local. Davide, you want to explain that part too?
Yes, absolutely. So this is how I started my experience with SGAC, honestly. My experience with SGAC in 2017 was being part of organizing Space Generation Workshop. So I'm talking about regional event now. So event, we've shown you before, we are based in 6 regions. So this means that every year we do an event in all of the regions of the regional workshop every year that are in the Middle East, in Africa, Asia Pacific, Europe, North America, Central America. These are all the regional workshops that we do every year, and in this case, these events are a bit more compressed, let me say. So it's a 2-day workshop, even if during these events, the focus is in any case on the regional space issues. So there are as well working groups, topics on the regional issues, as well on technical development or policy or main and so on. And you discuss within this opportunity based in different regions, in different countries. So you can check also our regional workshop in order to make sure that you can attend this workshop as a delegate, but also you can be part of the organizing team that does these amazing events that we do every year. In addition, talking about the local events, means that in every country we do also some activities, some events, and is, for example, you can see here SGAC countries, so it can be SGAC Italy, SGAC France, and so on. Other countries. Case networking opportunities, as Clementine said before. It's an amazing experience that will really make your life change as well. Not only from the professional point of view, but from the personal point of view. And this is the most important thing, that you can organize your event. You organize your event in your country, but can also apply to organize event in a region. So if it's organize, select team, make sure that you can because that we have SGAC and endorse the events. So we do also events in partnership with other organizations, with other companies and partner, and make sure that our SGAC event is at the same time with these other events that is partner with the partners or sponsors. Or, for example, with this as well. In this link, you can check and you can definitely take a look how you can also organize your partner and endorse. So, project groups, Clementine.
Yes, absolutely. I think that we had a little bit of like audio problems when you were talking, Davide, but yeah, if you want to see the content, of course, the presentation will be shared, and yeah, so for local and regional events, everything is also on the website. We can answer all your questions also afterwards when we finish the presentation, and hopefully the audio for Davide will come back better. So about the project group, so as Davide said, we have 10 project groups. All our project groups are on different topics. So basically, you have small satellite, for instance, or space medicine and life sciences, space technology for Earth application, space safety and sustainability, etc., which is really good because then you can a little bit like learn about all the different areas of the industry. So this is really the objective of like you joining a project group. Of course, you don't have to be experienced in the topic of the project group to join it. Absolutely not. It's a good occasion for you to learn. So I don't know, if you're a space lawyer and you want to learn about small satellite, absolutely join the project group. Joining project group, again, is done on the SGAC website. We have a category that's called project group. You can see the website down there. And when clicking on the different project group, there is a process for you to join. Usually it's just about like contacting the colleagues and express your interest in joining the project group, and then you can officially become a member. So what are these project group doing? Well, they do all sorts of things. They can organize events. We had this, for instance, our space exploration project group organized a Mars analog simulation in 2017. They can organize a hackathon also. We had the Space Technology for Earth Application organized a hackathon last year at the IAC in Washington, DC. It was very interesting. They also write papers or publications, and they can present them at conferences like the IAC or the Symposium or other conferences around the world. So this is really something that the project group have done very regularly. Some of our project group even have published books. There was a project group, which was the Space Law and Policy, that published a book on how to make the communication effective between space lawyers and space engineers, which is not always the easiest thing. So as you can see, there are a whole lot of different activities that they are doing. I really encourage joining, especially during this challenging time here at with the lockdown. They are doing tons of activities online, tons of webinars, are very interesting, inviting experts from all around the world to share their experience again. We also host some competitions online. Some of our project group have established competition, for instance, the Near Earth Object, asking you to be creative and creating some posters on how we can use space to protect Earth, etc., etc. So really, join this project group. You will meet amazing people who have the same interests as you may have, and you can learn a lot about the space industry. I've seen a comment a bit earlier about is it similar when we talk about working group at events and project group? So working group at events are usually determined by the partners who we work with. So for instance, at the Congress, We will work with NASA, with ESA, the UA Space Agency, I don't know, the MBRSC, etc. And they each will define a topic that they're interested in hearing the perspective from the young generation about. And then we create this working group like this. The project group, on the contrary, is something that is decided by the SGAC members that they want to create a project group on, for instance, space law and policy. Of course, there is some link between the two because we usually try to not replicate what has already been done, of course, and like the work that is done by the SGAC project group, which are year-long, are often used also at conferences regionally or globally in the different events that we're doing in the occasion of the working group at events. So that's it for project group.
Okay, perfect. So sorry for my connection. Maybe you can hear me now.
Yes, much better.
Perfect. Okay,
Much better right now.
Fantastic. Okay, so, you know, so we were talking about the different pillars. So we spoke about events, we spoke about the project groups, and now we are talking about the professional development opportunities. So how can you join our organization, but especially how can you be an active member of SGAC? So how can you organize events? How can you be part of the project groups? Or, you know, our team is a really big team that is divided into different teams. We do PR and comms, we have a legal team, we have also a team that is working on the membership and partnership that is called the strategic partnership team. So we have really different teams and different opportunities. So every month we publish our vacancies on the webpage, and we have really lots of vacancies that you can join from different points of view. You can do PR and comms. Would you like to manage that? You can manage budgets, for example. There are also opportunities to manage budgets within your event. You can be part of organizing team of an event. So there are really lots of opportunities that we publish every month. So please check out our website, check out our vacancies, and you can see that every year you can apply to the different opportunities that we provide every month, and be part of our community also with the different activities that we do. So this is terms of vacancies, and then the scholarships. So talking about the events that we were saying before, we have every year lots of scholarship opportunities that will make you, will give you the opportunity to come at our events. So for example, as I said before, at the Space Generation Congress, we provide 75 scholarships every Space Generation Congress so that you can join our event and be part of these amazing events that we do every year. But overall, we do not give scholarships also for the global events, but also for the regional events, and also sometimes for the local events. So usually we give 150 scholarships and grants per year. So every time you can check on this website, you can check on this link, spacegeneration.org scholarships, and you can see every month all the scholarships opportunities that we provide. The scholarships are provided usually by our partners, by our sponsors, but also SGAC does scholarships. So we provide also opportunities to our members from an SGAC perspective to join our events. So if you start to be part of the SGAC community as an active member, working on different projects, on different activities, you can apply on scholarships, for example, called SGLA, that is the Space Generation Leadership Award that we provide every year at the Space Generation Congress. Usually with this scholarship, we recognize the amazing work of our members that are doing lots of work for our community, and we recognize them through this scholarship. But also at the SGFF, we do the so-called global grants. So the global grants are the same things as the SGLA, but to attend the Space Generation Fusion Forum. We do also a scholarship for the regional events. So SGAC provides also opportunity to attend regional events for our members from the regional perspective point of view. So again, there are lots of opportunities to join our events. And again, you can check every time at the scholarship page, and of course, apply, and you will see, then if you will get the opportunity to join our events. Okay, United Nations, Clementine, back to you.
Sure. So as I was telling you at the beginning, we were created by the United Nations, and as such, once we got our observer status in 2001, we have some privilege that goes with that, and some things that we can do directly with the United Nations. The first thing is that, as I said, we have the permanent observer status, which means that every year we can attend what is called the Committee on the Peaceful Uses of Outer Space. There are 3 different committees every year. The Legal Subcommittee, the Technical Subcommittee, and the General Assembly of COPOS. And so we attend those events and we present the outcome of our activities. So for instance, if you attend an event like the Fusion Forum or a regional event in the Middle East, for instance, or in Asia Pacific, we will basically present the outcome of these events directly at COPOS in front of the entire delegation. It represents more than 90 delegations from 90 different countries. It's a lot, and they all are here to discuss like the status of the space sector in their respective country and how we can come together and establish some treaties, for instance, or some initiatives to give access to space to everyone around the world and provide activities to those who might not have access yet and some capacity building initiative. So that's the first thing, and the coolest part about this is that you can also attend. So if you become an active member of SGAC, you can join us as part of the SGAC delegation to attend COPOS. So if you ever wanted to know like what's going on in the UN, what are they talking about when it comes to space, what are the type of high-level conversations happening there, you can come as part of the delegations and attend as an observer for 2 weeks straight, like really see what are the mechanism at COPOS and how it works. And of course, you can do a good networking with people from like governments, etc. And we've seen some amazingly successful projects out of this, because you have people coming as part of their delegation, meeting their respective government representative. For instance, in Tunisia or in Colombia, like meeting directly the head of the delegation there and starting new projects together. So it's really, again, a good opportunity to come at COPOS and see how it works. And again, like if you cannot come, we are there to represent you and be your voice there at the United Nations. The second project we have with them, it's called the Space for Youth competition. So the Space for Youth competition is a project that we launched in 2019. And the objective is to encourage young people from all around the world to tell us how we can use space to contribute to the achievement of the Sustainable Development Goals. So the Sustainable Development Goals, if you don't know what this is, there are 17 SDGs, they're called, and these are objectives to be achieved by 2030. To make the world a better place. So for instance, end anger, provide gender equality, life on land, and how to better our life on Earth, etc. So a set of 17 different objectives. I invite you to check them out on the UN website if you want to learn more. But basically, we want to hear from young professionals around the world. What is your ideas about the use of space to achieve the Sustainable Development Goals? And again, this year in 2020, we are going to launch it again. It's going to be focused on climate change. So you guys should all go and look at ways we can use space for climate challenges and how we can achieve this SDG by 2030. There will be a call officially posted online this month on the United Nations section of our website, and you can have access. Everybody can apply. And basically, you need to submit an essay and telling us how you want to use space for climate change. The people who will get selected, they will be able to present their ideas at the Congress that we're going to host online. Again, announcement to come at the end of this week. And they will also have their paper directly given at the UN and registered under what we call a conference room paper, which is a document that officially goes to all the delegation of the UN. So everybody will be able to see your ideas, basically. And probably among the people who read your ideas, there is maybe someone that finds it interesting and make it a real project. And it happened in the past. So again, really encourage you to join this competition that will be launched shortly. So I guess that's all for the UN. But again, happy to answer all your questions. This is the last slide. We want to let time for the question and answer, because that's why we're here. But bottom line, again, join SGAC. It's free, first of all, on the website. If you're here, it means that you know about us, but it's free. You can join on our website very easily by creating an account. And then you have also a series of mailing lists that you can subscribe to, and our social media if you want to keep up to date with what we're doing. We are super active on social media. Every day we post something. Every day we have our project group super active on social media as well. So really follow us on social media. Look at the link of our mailing list. We'll keep you updated with the new vacancies, the new scholarships, the new opportunities. We even advertise all our events on our website. The website is really like the central part for SGAC. You need to be a little bit proactive and like looking at the website regularly, because we really update it very often with new things. And yeah, looking forward to answering all your questions and to hopefully see you more involved in the future at SGAC.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Davide and Clementine. It was so wonderful getting to hear all about the different facets of SGAC. And thank you to everyone who has been asking questions in the chat. Everything that I didn't see answered, I've been compiling separately. So now for the remainder of the webinar, I'm going to act as moderator, and we're going to ask Clementine, Davide, and some other members of the SGAC team who have joined in the meanwhile all of these questions. So to start, can you join more than one project group? Is there a limit to how many you can join?
Yeah, I'm happy to take that question. There's no limit in how many project groups you can join. You can join as many as you want. So if you want to join the 10 of them, you absolutely can. And the process is the same. It's under the website. You can reach out directly to what we call the co-lead. Each project group is managed by 2 co-leads who are volunteers from the SGAC team, and they will give you the process on how to join, and they're also the one managing all the project. And with project group, like a little tip from my side on how to be active in a project group, again, you need to be proactive a little bit. So if you decide to join a project group, don't hesitate to bring up your ideas on what you would like to do as part of this project group, because this is how these project groups are living, basically. It's like based on your ideas. And they will try to make it happen, and they will try to support you in your project. So yeah, if you have an idea, a project you would like to do, the project group are a good place to start doing that.
Great. So a follow-up to that directly. So let's say someone joined a project group, they're on the mailing lists, but they're not doing anything now. You know, they're not getting any direct suggestions for what they should be doing in the project group. You were talking about being proactive. What are some of the ways they can be proactive to start getting to actually do things?
Right. So, I mean, first of all, I would advise contacting the co-leads directly and sharing your ideas via email. The email of the co-leads are on the pages on the website, publicly posted. If not, there is this very simple email which is called pg@spacegeneration.org. I've posted it several times in the chat. So this is the email that goes directly to the coordinators of the 10 different project groups. So if you have ideas, or if you don't hear from the colleagues because maybe at the moment they are busy, or you see that the project is not so active, you can also contact them. They can advise on how to get more involved, how to propose your ideas. And again, yes, be proactive, propose some ideas. It can go from like webinars to publications, to events, to competitions, to survey, and so many other different opportunities. We can do a little bit of everything, hopefully. So yeah, be proactive and share your thoughts on this.
Cool. Do you need experience in SGAC to start one of these projects or ideas, or can you come in with your own idea and get started right away?
I know you can come in with your own ideas. You don't need experience with SGAC or even experience with anything else. We have members coming from all around the world, but in particular, members coming from many different backgrounds, from doctors to engineers to lawyers, business people, even a lot of people that are actually not working in the space industry at all. So it's such a rich group that any idea that you may have, we can actually find the experts that can help you make it happen. We can find the right people to interact with you and make your project. To start officially a project group, so this is a new project group, I mean, under a new topic. This is not possible at the moment, but every now and then, like there's a call for a new project group that goes out. and you can propose your ideas for new project group. However, last year we launched the call already, and we already implemented 4 new project groups. I don't know that they will introduce new project groups soon, but there is the possibility, and if your idea is really interesting, again, email it to projectgroup@spacegeneration.org, because they might pick up your ideas and see how we can make it happen.
Awesome. And so everyone who missed the email earlier, it's pg@spacegeneration.org?
Yes, correct.
Great, great. And I think it was in the chat multiple times if you scroll back. Okay, so this question might be best directed towards Zareen, maybe. I just made you a co-host, so you should be able to unmute yourself to talk about it. But let's say that you apply to a project group and your question wasn't answered in the chat, that you're supposed to be doing, that you are going to hear back from them soon. You've applied and you're not hearing back and you don't know what to do about that. What should you do?
Yeah, that's actually a great question, and I saw that a couple of times. So I think the best way is to refer back to the job description and see the timeline. We usually follow that timeline of recruitment, and so if suppose a call ends on the 25th, we make sure that we give an answer back in 1 month's time. So that's our goal. So if you haven't heard back from us within a month of when the call has ended, then it's a good time to get in touch with the pg@spacegeneration.org, and you can always talk to HR, you can talk to us, and then I can get you in touch with the recruitment lead, and we can make sure that we find where your application is, because we aim to get back to each and every person who has applied.
Great. Can you drop the email for that in the chat again, so everyone who's a little bit confused about that can reach out to you after the webinar?
Yes, definitely. I'm just gonna write that. Awesome.
Awesome. Great. Thank you so much. A quick question that I just saw that I can answer. Can the work be done remotely? Yes. This is work. Right now, I'm doing a webinar for my mentorship program, and it's entirely virtual. So no matter where you are in the world, as long as you can get in touch remotely with people, you'll be able to join into the project groups and do different things. Okay, so going forward, I know this one was answered earlier, but is there a calendar where all events and conferences and webinars are that people can keep track of?
Sure, Davide, you want to take that question maybe?
Yes, so there is a calendar where you can check on our website, honestly, where all our events are. You can check the different events that I said before, so the Space Generation Congress, the SGFF, the regional events that we have as well on our website. So depending on your interest on the event that you would like to see, you just click on the webpage, you click on the specific event, and you can check also the dates. Clementine, if I maybe miss something else, you can add.
Yeah, there's also, so indeed, like check out all the different events. And if you want to see all the events all at once, there is also a global event calendar. So it's still under the same section on the website. Click on it and you will see all the upcoming events of SGAC, also the past events and so on. There will be also very soon a calendar that will be developed for activities online, so webinars, etc. This is new. Of course, like if this pandemic is teaching us a lesson, is to organize webinars online and how to organize them properly. And I feel like we are quite good at this, given the number of participants here in this one. But these webinars will be put on the webinar calendar that will also be on the website in the same section, in the event section of the SGAC website.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Another question I had on the list. Are there any full-time job opportunities, not volunteer, but actual job opportunities at SGAC? And if so, does everyone work in one place?
That's very interesting as a question. So for the longest time, SGAC was only having one full-time employee for 15,000 members, so many different countries, so many events. It's a lot, but usually the executive director role was the only paid vacancy. Then, of course, last year we said, okay, we are a very big organization now, and we are 20 years old. It's maybe time that we do something about it. So we recruited an operation manager. His name is Matteo Capella, and he joined the SGAC team in 2019. And that's actually the second paid position at SGAC. And of course, the Deputy Executive Director joins, so Davide. It's also a paid position, and Davide will be taking my position when I leave SGAC towards the end of the year and become himself the executive director. So to answer the question, yes, there are some paid positions. The frequency of being able to work full-time for SGAC is pretty rare because we only have 2 positions that are paid. So for sure, once the operation manager will leave, or once Davide will leave in the future, then there is a possibility. And yes, everybody works in one place, usually, because now we don't. But usually we all work in Vienna. The headquarters of SGAC is based in Vienna, in Austria. So the reason why we're based in Vienna is because the United Nations Office for Space is based in Vienna in Austria. So our office is based there, and we all work from there in person. And if you join the SGAC delegation for Corpus once, or if you pass by Vienna, please drop us a message. We're always happy to welcome you to the HQ of SGAC. Nothing special, but it can still be cool to like welcome you there and like meet you in person and have you visit the place.
Oh, that's so exciting. And I see that one of the
Awesome.
Yeah, someone's in Vienna. They emailed us recently and wanted to participate in the mentorship program. So maybe you'll get to interact with them through that too.
Yeah, reach out.
Awesome. Definitely. So what happens if you age out of SGAC? What happens once you turn 35? Do you just get the boot?
Yeah, that's a question. That's an interesting question. It comes back very often. So of course, SGAC is from 18 to 35. That's the age range. When you turn 36 on the day of your 36th birthday, this is the exact date, you become what we talk about as an alumni. So of course, SGAC does activities with the alumni. The mentoring program is one, for instance. If you wanted to join as a mentor to the mentoring program and continue to interact with SGAC members, you can. We also have sometimes alumni events in different places. So every year, for instance, at the IEC, we organize an alumni gathering. So you can come and like meet again with all your fellow SGAC members around the world. So we still do some activities, especially based on like everything that's on the mentoring. You can also become an advisor to some of our project group. If you have some knowledge in the different fields, you can become officially an advisor of this project group. But yes, unfortunately, once you turn 36, you can no longer apply to vacancies or to scholarships, etc. But it doesn't mean that we lose the contact. We still really want to keep the contact with you. So if you turn 36, no worries, you can still engage with SGAC somehow. And also there are a lot of organizations out there that are very nice that you should check out. If you're turning 36, you can join the organizations, for instance, like the International Astronautical Federation. They have a lot of options to volunteer. And there are a lot of organizations out there that do not have that age limit.
Great, thank you so much. I'm saving all the questions about the mentorship program for the very end, since I know that I think Davide especially has off. So if we're running a few minutes over, I'll answer all the mentorship questions at the end. So one question from the very beginning. I was recently introduced to SGAC through the Mars City design. Do you have any information about that at the moment?
Yeah, I can answer that too. So the Mars City design is a program that is organizing a competition on designing like a future Mars city. And so this has been sent to all our project group. It's an opportunity for you to potentially join the SGAC team, because they are looking for building different teams to compete against each other, and SGAC wants to have a team there. So if you want to contribute, again, I sent an email earlier to all the project group members. You can join the SGAC team. And again, if you want more information about this, I will repeat. So pg@spacegeneration.org. They can direct you to the right person, and you can potentially like express your interest to join the SGAC team for this this competition online.
Great, thank you so much. If you guys can't tell from the amount of times we've all said it, the solution to basically most of these questions is to email one of these emails that we're handing out. If you feel like you're not connecting to the people you need to, or you have an idea, email about it. SGAC as an organization functions very much by communicating between people. And so we just want to get you hooked in to talk to all of us. Someone asked specific questions about her or his experience as a user experience designer and not knowing which project groups might benefit from their skills. So if you have a very specific skill set, how do you figure out which project group could use it best?
Great. So this question, maybe the answer can be twofold. Reaching out to Zarine in the HR, because we are always looking for talents, no? So at SGAC, we have about, I don't know, 10 different positions every month in the vacancies. So if you wanted to get involved and like, you know, use your skills to get involved at SGAC, then definitely check the vacancy page. For the project group, again, same question. If you don't know which project group to join and you can't tell by the website which project group you would like to join best, you can always like emailing the co-leads of like the project group that sounds interesting, ask them what they're doing in detail. Like maybe they will share what are their projects at the moment and you can see if it's of interest to you or not. And again, reaching out in general on how to reach out the project group, it's this email pgs.org, where you can really ask any general questions about the project group. So again, really recommend being proactive and checking this out there.
I muted myself because I was typing and I started talking. Oh no. Okay, so now that we're in the last few minutes, we've gone through most of the questions that I have listed. I'll quickly answer the one that just popped up. If you have a project idea in the application of biotechnology, which project group does biotechnology best fit into? Does anyone have an idea from the panel?
I don't know. Davide, do you want to take the question?
Which project group? If you can say again in specific what the question was, I didn't see it.
It was biotechnology and agriculture.
Biotechnology and agriculture. Which project group?
And that's what the question was. You know,
Yeah.
For that, the idea might be that you write up an email summary and you send it to every single project group lead and you say, hey, is there room for a new idea in this area? And then they might be able to get back to you on that. There could
be, as yes, Clementine said before, you know, if you write to pg@spacegeneration.org, that's the best way to proceed with them. You know, share your ideas with them. They are always flexible and open, you know, to answer all the questions that you have. And, you know, if you would like, you know, to propose also new ideas, the project group leads, they will be there to help you and make sure that, you know, they can make also fit your ideas if they can fit into our project groups.
Yeah, I feel like
and
project that could work, which is maybe the space technology for Earth application, everything related to like agriculture, maritime activities, etc. How we use space in different fields. But yes, as Davide said, reach out and like ask the questions to the whole project group. They will always be happy to redirect you.
Yeah, everyone's a leader here, so lead the way. And for Jose, there's a national point of contact or a few national points of contact. They're all listed on the website. So reach out to them. And if not, reach out to the info, the PG, reach out to one of these other emails that we've thrown around. And if your country doesn't have one, you can get it started. So finally now I'm gonna stop. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to just add something about this. So this is an important point, is that SGAC does not have per se local chapters. So we're not like other organizations may have local chapters, like for instance, SED was different local chapters, etc. So SGAC, we don't have local chapters, but what we have is national points of contact. So in every country where SGAC is represented, we have 2 national point of contact. And in every region, we have 2 regional coordinators. This is important because you cannot staff let's say, a regional chapter in like Tunisia or in I don't know, Venezuela or any other country, you need to reach out to your national point of contact, who are the ones that in the countries are managing the SGAC activity. So let's say it's functioning like a local chapter, but it's not a local chapter, it's still SGAC. We only have one SGAC, which is headquartered in Vienna. And I know that sometimes we have some confusion about this, but definitely important to keep that in mind. We are a global organization that has activities in different regions, but we do not have separate entities, basically.
Awesome. So with our last few minutes before people start logging off, just a summary of the mentorship program again. This spring was the first time the mentorship program ran as a fully fledged program. There was a pilot program in 2019 into 2020. And so we are just getting started. The committee is myself, Victoria, Montse, and Katie, and the four of us ran the first program this spring, as well as this and future webinars that SGAC will be advertising. The mentor applications are always open, and everyone can be a mentor. Even if you're 20 years old and finishing up your undergrad, you could still be a mentor to a high school student who's figuring out how to get into college to begin with. So we encourage everyone to apply because we match people based on what it is that they're dealing with their next challenges going forward. For mentees, applications will open up again in August. If you have any questions about the mentoring program in the meanwhile, our email is still up on the last slide that Davide is screen sharing, and you can send us questions anytime and we can try to help you. So starting in August, we'll take your applications and you can be part of the second fall cycle of the program as a mentee. Roxy, just email us at mentoring@spacegeneration.org and we can answer any specific questions you have about the mentoring program. And if it's something that's not in our wheelhouse, we'll forward you on to someone who can help you. Does anyone have any last minute questions about the mentorship program before we close up for the day? All right. Not seeing anything pop up. If anything does come up or you think of anything later that you wanted to ask any one of us during the webinar and you didn't get a chance to, you have all the emails, info, PG, mentoring, etc. Please just send us an email right after this. I'll stick around for a few minutes after the recording ends to field some questions. But thank you so much for joining us today. We loved having all of you and we're looking forward to having you hopefully at our next webinar on May 28th, which is about grad school versus industry. Thank you all so much.
Thank you all.